those of us in education are making very tough decisions these days, and you named some of the things that are driving that. Typically, the rooms in which those decisions are made look pretty much like this room. There aren't very many students in those rooms. But to our peril, we make those decisions without our students in mind. And you've touched on that early on, which was very gratifying to hear, not surprising at all. It is fundamentally about the students. And one of the things that we've tried to do in our institution is when we're in a room making those decisions is making sure that someone asks a question, no matter what the context is. Too often it's financial, and how does this relate to the students? And so I'm affirming the fact that that is part of what you're doing, and suggesting that be a very, very deliberate part of every discussion. The students aren't in the room, we are. But to our peril, we don't ask that question. So thanks for touching on that very, very early on.
Well, it's actually, I think we have had the conversations about the students, but I do believe that we have also started the conversations with the students.
Yeah.
And so Principal Zitnick and Principal Grubbs have begun the conversations with students about this. And obviously, Mr. Grubbs has a little bit different conversation as he guides them as to how to go about making your voice heard, right? And so I want to give him credit for that, because there is no I don't know what the word is, animosity or lack of understanding of students who chose to go to a school that may not be there next year. And so I'm proud of the work that many of the adults are doing at Timken to say, okay, nobody says that you can't be upset. Nobody says that you're not grieving. How do you do it? How do you appropriately do it? And I think the things that they're doing, the petitions and the shirts, and that's a great lesson for life for them. And so, but at the same time, issues like planning with them and strategizing with them, getting them to say, okay, if this happens, how will this work? How do you feel, et cetera. Ruth has also talked to McKinley students and said, okay, if this happens, then how do we do this? And it's ironic because they're all Canton students, and at some point they probably all went to middle school together somewhere. So it's not like they're complete strangers coming from different lands into one territory. They probably all know each other, but nonetheless, that process of student engagement will be important to us moving forward, for sure.